we're back with another video. If I had to start content creation from zero in January 2026, no audience, no traction, no safety net, and I needed this to become my full-time job this year, I wouldn't be doing what most people are doing right now. I wouldn't chase trends, and I wouldn't rely on posting just content. I would do a fewer things, but more intentional. And I would focus on things that no one is actually talking about right now. I got my matcha with a safety button, just in case, because I once spilled it on my laptop and that's not happening again. I got my chapstick, my lip gloss, because I am still a little bit sick and my lips are really, really dry. And I got my tissues in case I need to blow my nose. So I am ready to have this chat with y'all. So I would say grab your coffee, grab your matcha, whatever you like, grab some pen and paper, and let's go. Hi, my name is Aisha. I am a full-time content creator, and yeah, I'm gonna help you grow this year as a content creator because I'm a girl's girl and I love to help. Let me give this video a little frame because I am not gonna be talking about the aesthetics. I'm not really an aesthetics kind of girl. I'm not gonna talk about going viral and what you need to do to go viral or what you need to do to grow on social media because that is not my main goal with this video. I know there's a lot of other creators that can help you with this. I am not that person. It's not about going viral, and it's definitely not about posting every day just to feel productive. I did that, and sometimes I'm still doing that, and yeah. This is the strategy, the exact blueprint that I would follow if I would see content creation as my career, not just a hobby, but my career, because it is. We're gonna talk about marketing, positioning, speaking, and one thing that might be very unpopular, might be a very unpopular opinion, but networking. Step 1, stop thinking like a creator. Let me repeat that. Stop thinking like a creator. The biggest mistake that most creators, including myself, in the beginning did is think solely like a creator instead of like more of a business person. Don't get me wrong, you do need to have that creative side. I do truly believe that if you're not creative from like the inner deepest part of yourself, that being a content creation is gonna being a content creator is gonna be pretty hard for you. But there's more to that than just being creative, because posting is not the job. Distribution is. Because before I would post something, I would ask myself, who is this for? What problem does this solve? If your content is just relatable but not valuable, it will not compound. Value is needed to build that trust. Step 2, pick a position, not just a niche. People truly obsess over finding their niche, but what truly matters is positioning themselves. Position yourself as the person you want to be. A content creator. For example, instead of saying, I'm a lifestyle content creator, I would say, I'm a content creator that focuses on women that feel lost in their 20s. Or instead of, I'm sharing content tips, no, I'm a content creator that focuses on helping beginners turn content into money. Simple as that. If you have that clarity, you can build authority. Step 3. Learn how to speak, learn how to communicate. This is something not a lot of people talk about, but the best creators are not only the ones who create best or who are the best editors, but who also know how to communicate, not only with words, but also visual through their content. They are truly the best communicators. If I would start content creation right now, I would definitely focus on confidence, tone of voice, your clarity, your storytelling. And don't get me wrong, communicating is not about being loud. It's about being clear in what you say. Whether that's through words, whether that's through your content, your visuals, the way you behave yourself, your charisma, that's how you can be clear. When you speak clearly, people immediately trust you and people immediately think that you're competent. And competence builds trust. If I would be speaking like this and be all up in my bubble right here, I don't think that you would really like to listen to me. No, when I speak, I try to lean forward. I try to look into the camera. I try to listen if I have a conversation with someone in real life, I try to listen to what they're saying. I don't immediately try to look for an answer. I try to listen to the words that they're saying, but also how they're saying it and maybe what the message is behind what they're saying, because sometimes people say something, but they mean something else. And if you listen carefully, instead of just trying to rush to give your answer or your opinion, just listen to what they have to say and only then give your opinion, your feedback, or just something that makes sense in that conversation. Don't immediately twist or shift the conversation to you. Yeah, but I had that experience and I think you should do this. No, that's not what the person is trying to accomplish with having that conversation with you. Step 4 is study marketing as a skill. If I could go back to being 18, this is something that I would focus more on. I didn't know back then what I wanted to get into, of course. It's only 2.5 years ago that I started to get into creating the social media part, digital marketing, but just marketing in general really has my interests. I would definitely build more skills like marketing, especially digital marketing in this day and age. You can never go wrong with having that skill. So let's talk about having marketing as your skill. I would stop solely relying on motivation and work more on my marketing, my retention, my hooks, my thumbnails, my analytics, and not to manipulate people, but to respect how they are watching your content, to respect their attention, their attention span. Ain't nothing better like having my matcha after Pilates, being fully showered, looking outside, seeing the snow fall, and just being cozy up here talking to you girls. Here are some actionable steps. Rewrite your last 5 hooks. Analyze your best video, a few of your best videos, and ask yourself, why did they perform the way they did? Screenshot ads, and I know there's a lot of them recently, but screenshot ads that make you stop scrolling, and learn basic metrics like retention and CTR. I'm gonna screenshot some of the amazing podcasts that I listen to that will help you with this. Diary of a CEO, Marketing Against the Grain, My First Million, and Perpetual Traffic. Because you don't need a degree in marketing, but you just need the curiosity. You need to have that level of interests and that level of power that you really want to learn, and not just from getting a degree. You can learn nowadays from anywhere. I'm going to share my unpopular opinion. I do believe that word has been overused, but I also believe that what I'm about to say is not something that a lot of people agree on, but there's a lot of us. I had that talk last summer, on a panel with other brands, with other creators, but content alone will not save you anymore. Because let's be honest, just emailing or pitching a brand saying, hey, I'm a creator, doesn't do the job anymore. They don't need just content creators. They need problem solvers. When you email a brand and you say, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Aisha, I'm a content creator, they're going to be like, okay, what else do you bring to the table, girl? Here are some other skills that I know a lot of you have, but don't realize it yet, that you can offer on the side of just delivering your content. Creating ads, analyzing ad performance, writing hooks and captions, creating creator briefings, editing short form content, and much more. Every previous job that you had definitely learned you something that I don't have, that someone else doesn't have, but just you learned and that you can sell. If you're in retail right now, trying to get out, you definitely learned a lot about customer psychology. If you're in hospitality, or if you were in hospitality, trust me, you definitely learned how to communicate under pressure. And if you're currently in a corporate job, you definitely know a lot about systems and organization. Trust me, you are more qualified than you think. You just need to connect the dots. Step 5, and for me personally, the most important step, but networking is a cheat code. Networking gets a lot of bad reputation in my eyes, but it's not just about asking for a favor. It's about truly connecting with someone, connecting the dots like I mentioned before, but also about proximity. In 2025, last summer, I was invited to speak at a panel. I was not paid, and I was doubting whether I should go, yes or no, because speaking in front of people is not something that I'm used to do. Like, I'm a content creator, I work from home most of the time. I do know how to communicate, and I feel comfortable communicating about the things that I am good at or that I feel confidence enough about, but I was still doubting, and I was feeling the imposter syndrome coming in. But that aside, I said yes. Those few hours of being on the panel did more for my career than a week of posting would ever, because it gave me confidence. Being invited into a room like that really changed how I saw myself. But the real magic happened afterwards, because I met a lot of people, and those people introduced me to other people, and those other people introduced me to brands, and suddenly opportunities just started finding me out of the blue. And that's how networking actually works. So say yes, even if you don't feel ready. Go to rooms or go to places, even if it makes you uncomfortable or even if you're alone. Have conversations with people and don't immediately try to pitch yourself and follow up afterwards, just out of curiosity, just out of being genuinely interested in that person, because this is truly a snowball effect, and once it starts rolling, it's very hard to stop that snowball, which is a good thing. Step 6 is build an income off your platform very early on. I wouldn't just wait on brands to come to me. I would already try to build some income on the side of my content. If you're currently working for a boss right now, that's probably from 9 to 5, let's say. Try to have that income support your 5 to 9, if that makes sense. So your after hours. I can obviously not make your bill, but that's how I did it. I saved some money on the side, and whatever I was earning with my regular job, I was putting aside so I can invest in myself again, invest in better gear, but also invest in courses that help me to grow. Here are some off-platform ideas. You could do some one-on-one coaching. You could do some social media management on a freelance basis. You could do some administration for brands. You could go into virtual assistants. You could do some workshops, or if you have a lot of experience in like one specific thing, you could do like workshops in the weekend, or there's so many things that I cannot think of right now, but I know because the experience that you have, like not that person or that person, but you specifically, you can sell whatever skill you have right now. That's the amazing part of living in 2026. You can literally sell every skill and you don't need 1 million of followers anymore. And this is how you're going to support your 5 to 9 while still building your dream. Because I know that if you feel this pressure to immediately stop your job, it's gonna kill your creativity, 100%. And getting an extra income gives you that breathing room that we all need. And the last step is think in years, multiple months instead of just weeks. Most people quit because they don't instantly see results, and I would focus on at least giving it 12 months, an honest reflection, but also being consistent in sharing your content. This is a pretty long game, but it compounds. Virality is very loud, and I know that a lot of us are hoping for that and are counting on that and are comparing themselves with others that went viral, and that's a good thing if you can go viral, but also sustainability, like keep that in your in your mind that sustainability is much more interesting for you in the long run. Because that one viral video will do nothing for you if the rest of your content just flops. If I would start in January 2026, I would not try to be everywhere. I would not try to do everything on my own. And I would definitely not try to be perfect. I would be useful, I would be visible, and I would be very, very patient. Because just content is not the career. Everything you build around is. And that's where most of us stop, but that's where actually everything else begins. If you're serious about turning content into your long-term career, then save it or send it to someone who needs to hear this. See you next time.